Peace, infinite waters, diving deep. Once again, we are out here in nature. Woo! Breathing in that beautiful prana. What happens when we die? What do we see when we die? Do we live on forever? Or is this it? Can I get a hello there? We got a great question that came in. Someone said they had a near-death experience recently, and they always also have out-of-body experiences. But they want to know what happens to our consciousness after we die. Is this it? Do you only live once? Or do we live forever? That's what I used to always think about as well. Let me share with you some insights and some conclusions I came to. A story first. There is a guy. He's knocking on everyone's door. And he knocks on the door of a man who lives in the most expensive mansion in the world. He says, "Excuse me, sir, sorry to bother you. Do you have any room in the inn?" The man said, What are you talking about? Do you know who I am? Do you know how much money I have? I live in a mansion. This is not an inn." Then the guy asked, "Well, who lived there before you?" The man said, "Well, my mother." "Who lived there before your mother?" "Her father." "Who lived there before her father?" "There was a man none of us ever met." "So, is it not an inn because you've had all of these different people passing through?" Then the man said, "Damn." Well, he didn't really say damn. I just put that in there. But he said, "Come inside, my friend. We have much to talk about." Many of us realize we're living in a very transient universe, a transient world. Nothing lasts forever. We know that. Why? Because you've got to keep going to the supermarket, right? Things run out. But at the same time, there are certain things which go on forever, like the sun. Near-death experiences. What on earth is happening? Out-of-body experiences. What on earth is happening? Before I tell you my personal story, what does science say? Now, a lot of us, we used to think this is just mumbo jumbo, okay? And then science came in. Recently, the University of Southampton conducted the biggest study in the world on near-death experiences. They studied 2,000 people who had cardiac arrests over 4 years in the UK, the US, and another place. And they found that people actually had an awareness when they were clinically pronounced dead. Thank goodness for that. They were still aware before their heart was restarted. And this was over 40% of the people they studied. One man actually reported saying that being aware, he was in the corner of a room and he saw himself being resuscitated. That's some freaky stuff. Okay, then he came back to life. So the science is showing that many people are dead, then they come back to life. In many ancient cultures, they talk of the world being Maya, the illusion. In 2006, I had an experience which changed my life forever. Okay, I've spoken about this before. I was hospitalized due to stress. And there was a time where, at one specific time, I had a near-death experience, which was an out-of-body experience as well. Okay, I saw myself leaving my body. At that time, I wasn't talking, but I could see I was entering a different dimension. I was dying. I was entering what we call the metamorphosis. And I saw a massive light. In fact, it reassured me to realize there was nothing to be afraid of. What did I see? I saw lots of lights. I saw certain family members I wanted to see. Also, people I had met who really left an impression on my life. It was almost as if it was one massive reunion. But also, I realized, where did my body go? No, I had no body. I just had awareness. And I was looking at myself when I wasn't speaking, I wasn't talking, but I was smiling at myself. Now, many people who have a near-death experience, an out-of-body experience, they experience the following. They realize this body we have is nothing more than a vehicle. It is not who we are. In ancient Kemet and ancient Egypt, they talked of the Kaaba, the spirit leaving the body and traveling to the afterlife. They talked of Ma'at, where your heart would be weighed against a feather. Did you live a noble life? What I experienced in my near-death experience was that there was no judgment. Nobody is going to judge you. When we talk of karma, when we talk of reincarnation, what's helped me along my journey, I don't have all the answers, but I'll definitely take a deep dive, is to realize that we judge ourselves and karma is instant. We have all lived many lives. That is why we gravitate towards certain people more than others. What were we doing? What were we doing before we came here? Who were you? Ask yourself this before the world told you who you were. Who are you without your name? What I experienced was a letting go, a release, a liberation, a fantastic feeling. I wasn't my name. No. I wasn't my bank account. No. I wasn't my address. No, because I didn't even know where I was. So I was floating in an ethereal realm. Now, my mentor, Omran Mikhail Ivanov, a master teacher, he inspired me tremendously in how he talks about what we see when we die. Really, there is no death because we are all energy. We can talk about the 7 Hermetic principles. We'll come to that later. He speaks about how death is really a doorway, a gateway into infinite possibilities, a transitional state. Now, coming to my own awareness right now, I realize that, have you ever been driving around, okay, and you're saying, gosh, this is really beautiful. Beautiful scenery. It feels good. You're playing your music. You're having a good time, right? But the car is just the vehicle. The driver is the one who is controlling the car. Okay? Now, if you get out of the car stops. So which one is more important? The car or the driver? Right? So what's helped me along my journey is to realize when we get out of that car, that is what we call so-called death. Life and death are two sides of the same coin. There's an old saying, when a baby is born, someone passes away to make space in this holographic universe. Let me explain. Death is not what we think it is, just as life is not what we think it is. For a long time, I was afraid of dying. Then I realized, wait a minute, why? You see, only the ego is afraid because, once again, the ego holds onto who the world tells it is. Your name, how much money you have, what car you're driving. Our consciousness, our soul doesn't give a damn. When you realize you are the primordial life force energy in existence, you've got nothing to worry about. Look, I'll tell you honestly, I don't care. I don't care if I come back as water, right? Infinite waters. Because water is the consciousness, right? A lot of us, we're afraid because we know we're not living a righteous life, so-called righteous life. We're afraid because we want to control life. I was speaking to a good friend. He said, what if when you see a bird, that's the next state, that's the next dimension, because now you're flying. I said, damn. So we look down on birds, right? We say we are more superior to birds. But what if that is the next state? Because many people who have near-death experiences, out-of-body experiences, it's like they're flying. They can go anywhere. Because being in this body we have, it's like we're trapped. Death frees us, just like life frees us. But I've seen, once again, there is only now. And show me death in nature. There is no death. Everything is alive. Therefore, there is nothing to be afraid of. What you've got to ask yourself is, am I doing what I love right now? I couldn't care less what happens when I die or what I see when I die. Because guess what? Right now I see the sun right in front of me and it feels amazing. Can I get a hello there? When you focus on life, you realize there is only life. When you appreciate those closest to you. Okay, sometimes we only appreciate people when they've made the transition. You got to appreciate them when they are here and now, when they are in the here and now with you. Don't take people for granted, because after your first near-death experience, ask many people, they're going to tell you, gosh, they started to call their close friends, their family members, because they realized, just like the ancients knew, life is precious. Life is a gift. It's not a thing to play with. It's a gift. The earth, Gaia, giveth, Gaia taketh away. I don't control this body or life. No. We are governed by the universal principles of life. That is why one must be humble. One must surrender to the ebb and flow of life. But more so, let love guide you and not fear. Celebrate. Have a wonderful day. We are here. Infinite waters, diving deep once again. Stay well, stay healthy. Peace.